Today, we're going to talk about the Hiroshima and Nagasaki nuclear bombings. These two events were some of the most destructive in human history, and they had a profound impact on the world. I'll be talking about the events leading up to the bombings, the aftermath, and the legacy they left behind. So sit back and get ready to be blown away by one of the darkest chapters in human history. The day of the Hiroshima bombing dawned like any other. The sun rose over the city, and the streets were filled with people going about their daily lives. But on this day, everything would change. At 8:15 a.m., an American B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, dropped an atomic bomb called Little Boy on the city. The bomb exploded with the force of 15,000 tons of TNT, instantly killing an estimated 80,000 people. Many more people died in the days and weeks that followed from the effects of radiation poisoning. The bomb leveled entire city blocks, and the heat from the explosion was so intense that it melted steel and concrete. The blast wave knocked people off their feet and shattered windows for miles around. Those who survived the initial blast were burned, blinded, and covered in radiation burns. The city was in chaos. People were running and screaming, trying to escape the devastation. The streets were filled with the dead and the dying. The smell of smoke and ash hung in the air. The bombing of Hiroshima was a turning point in World War II. It showed the world the destructive power of nuclear weapons, and it helped to bring about the end of the war. But it also left a legacy of death and destruction that continues to this day. One of the survivors of the Hiroshima bombing was a young woman named Sadako Sasaki. She was only 12 years old at the time, and she was playing with her friends when the bomb exploded. She was instantly blinded and burned, and she later developed leukemia from radiation poisoning. Sadako refused to give up hope. She began folding paper cranes, a traditional Japanese symbol of peace. She believed that if she folded 1,000 paper cranes, her wish for world peace would come true. Sadako folded 644 paper cranes before she died in 1955. Her story inspired others to continue folding paper cranes in her memory. Today, there are millions of paper cranes folded around the world as a symbol of peace and hope. The Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings were a tragedy, but they also taught us a valuable lesson about the destructive power of nuclear weapons. We must never forget the victims of these bombings, and we must work to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. In addition to the human cost, the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings also had a significant environmental impact. The radiation released by the bombs contaminated the soil and water, and it continues to affect the health of people living in the area today. The Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings are a reminder of the importance of peace. The Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings were a tragedy that claimed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. Let us all work together to build a world without nuclear weapons, a world where peace can thrive. Thank you for watching.